this is episode 22. In episode 22 we're doing things a little bit differently, and we're starting off with a little out and about. I hope you enjoy our trip around Mullameen Forest. Hi and welcome to the Knitterarium podcast. My name is Ruth, I'm your host. I'm a knitwear designer here in Westmeath in Ireland, where this podcast is coming to you from. Today is Saturday the 17th of June and this is episode 22. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to spend it with me. I really do appreciate that you take that time to spend it with me. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. It is always lovely to have you return. If you are a new to me viewer, welcome. I hope you enjoyed this episode and I hope you stick around. The places you can find me online are on my website, knitterarium.com. You can find links to all the patterns there, and you will also find my blog with any of the stories for the patterns, and it is also the place that you can sign up for my newsletter. You can find me on Instagram as Knitterarium, and I am the most active there. And you will also find me in our Ravelry Group, which is Knitterarium. If you just search under the Groups tab on Ravelry for Knitterarium, you will find us. And I will have links down below for all of those places, so they're easy for you to access. In the Ravelry Group, you will find introduction threads, you will find chatter threads for each of the patterns. You will find an Ask Me Anything thread, and that is also where we have the knit along thread. So you will find the chatter threads and the finished object threads for that. And I'll mention more about our knit alongs in a little bit. So I think with really that out of the way, we will we'll get comfy, we'll grab our knitting, and we will get started with the inside world of Knitterarium. The inside world of Knitterarium this past 2 weeks, because it's 2 weeks from I recorded last, I've been writing patterns mainly this past week. I did hope to do it last week, but we had I had car issues. I needed to send the car for a service and it needed to stay a bit longer, and it meant just a lot more running around, so I didn't get as much work done, and I didn't record last week, so because I had gotten so little done. So this week I spent most of the week writing patterns, and if you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen daily update posts of those of different yarns I was working with as I was writing those patterns. So I did spend quite a good chunk of this week writing patterns. Last week I had the release of my Dearest, Loveliest, Elizabeth. They were our newest socks, and I forgot to bring those up with me. So if you just give me a moment, I'm just going to stop here and go and get them for you. So back again, I forgot to bring those up to show you. So as I was saying, last week I saw the release of my Dearest, Loveliest, Elizabeth socks. These are the companion socks to Darcy with Love. So I have the finished socks here to show you. This here is, you will see on the sock it has just a delicate and very subtle bow kind of stitch worked into it. Into the leg it has 1 by 1 rib, and then we have an higher part of partridge heel flap and gusset, and then a contrasting toe was worked. The sample was knit in, this is Holly Blue by Sherwood Yarns. It's the BFL sock yarn, and this is Blue Steel by Sherwood Yarns. Blue Steel, yeah, and that's the BFL sock yarn as well. So that there is 2 socks, sock 1 and sock 2. They are those. So they're a close-up, and I did bring up the to Darcy with Love just so you could see, because the Elizabeth socks were worked in the contrasting colours of to Darcy with Love, and we are running just an informal knit along of either of these socks. So this is the to Darcy with Love sock. So as you'll see, it has used the Blue Steel colourway as the main colour with the Holly Blue as contrasting, and then my Dearest, Loveliest Elizabeth has the opposite colouring. It is the Holly Blue for the main colour and the Blue Steel. So that is the two socks together. And as I said, we are running an informal knit along on Instagram only for either one of those socks, and it's under the hashtag Lizzie and Darcy Cal, and I'll pop that up here. I think it is running until mid-July. I think it's mid-July. I'll just double check that and I'll put the date up here, and just use the hashtag Lizzie and Darcy Cal and join in and knit either a pair of my Dearest, Loveliest Elizabeth, or a pair of, I'm just taking them off the sock covers, or a pair of to Darcy with Love, or both if you want. There's a couple of us who are trying to, we're just trying to see if we can maybe get a pair of both finished. So that was released this week. That happened last week in the Inside World of Knitterarium. My other new pair of socks that I am working on at the moment, the Wildflower Honey. Let me see. Okay, I'm trying to see which ones I can show you. This is a sock 2 here, and again, I don't want to show, I've just dropped the needle. It's obviously going to be an episode like that, so I don't want to show you the patterning just yet, but So this is the main sock, and I have turned the heel on this one. This has an Eye of Partridge heel as well. I've turned the heel and I am this far up onto the foot. I think I have, yep, I've just finished the gusset decreases, so I'm just literally knitting the foot. So that's what that there looks like. As I said, I don't want to just show the patterning of it just yet. This version is knit cuff down, but there will be a toe up version. That was one of the patterns I was writing up this past week. I wanted to write up a toe up version, and I will go ahead then once this one is done, and I'll write toe up versions for both To Darcy with Love and for my Dearest, Loveliest, Elizabeth. So they will be coming along. They are in the pipeline. But the yarns I'm using for Wildflower Honey is this Rose Garden, I think it's Rose Garden by the Wool Barn. Yes, Rose Garden. It is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere and 10% nylon. And it's got these beautiful flecks of green and yellow and pink in it on a natural coloured base, and it's beautiful. And the Wildflower Honey pattern it's particularly brilliant for those speckled yarns, and pairing something a little bit more neutral with it. And I am using this. This is Eden Cottage Yarns Oakworth 4-ply in the Summer Harvest colourway, and that is 100% New Zealand Polworth wool, and that's what I'm using for contrast with it. So those are the two together. I am really loving how these are working up, and as I said, this is the cuff down version, and I am hoping I should have enough yarns to switch the colourways around for the toe up version. So they are my Wildflower socks. I have been working away on those. Let me see, what else have I got inside the World of Knitterarium. The shawl on the mannequin at the moment. This is Grania. This is the last Lady of Legend. This is a sneak peek at her. Nobody has seen her yet, so you're getting the first look at her. She is going to be for release hopefully before the end of this month. She'll be ready for release, so you'll be able to grab that. I'll give you a closer up look at it when it is released, but I love her simple and elegant look. It's lovely. It's a perfect example really of how, you know, a pattern just doesn't have to be complicated to be effective, and it's just, I love how she's working up. One of the other things, I'm working on a new collection, and I can't just quite show you the new collection yet, but I can show you the yarns I'm using. Well, two of them anyway for the moment. So I am using, this is Eden Cottage Yarns. This is Pendle 4-ply, which is 100% superwash merino, and this is the Rambling Rose colourway, and then this is the Faded Bloom colourway. Again, it's the Pendle 4-ply by Eden Cottage Yarns. So these are the two colours I'm using at the moment for a new shawl. You may have seen just little glimpses of that on Instagram, so that's why I'm mentioning it. I can't really show you too much of the pattern just yet. I'm just not ready to show you that, but as I said, it is a new collection. It is a new collection that I'm working on, and it should be ready late summer, very early autumn. Yeah, I think really that's all I've been working on behind the scenes. As I said, I've been predominantly writing patterns this week. I have three new patterns written up with I think there's 3 others that I tried to get done this week, but time didn't allow it this week. So I may trick around with those next week and finish writing those up. That will then free up a good chunk of the summer for just knitting, which is what I'm hoping to do. The smaller children get summer holidays in about a week and a half. So if I can get most of my pattern writing done before they go on their holidays, I will be able to spend most of the time with them just knitting, which is a lot easier to do while they're playing around and while we're out and about, to just bring that with me and to just knit away. That's the plan anyway. So I think we will move on to what's on my needles. What I have been working on are, in my gorgeous little Eldenwood craft bag, are my 2 Darcy with Love socks, and I have one finished because I had a hospital appointment with my 3rd eldest boy yesterday, Saturday. I'm straight with the days, and he had to have a wee bit of surgery for his ears. So naturally enough, most of the day was spent hanging around the hospital, so perfect knitting time. So I finished the first one of these. This is 2 Darcy with Love sock, and this is it here. There's a close up of it. I'm hoping it's focusing. Okay, so that's the close up. This is Sherwood Yarns BFL sock yarn this is the Marion colourway, and I have used Admiral Chopel wool in just a natural colourway. This is just a 4-ply. I quite like this yarn for the heels and toes. I like it. It's kind of like a workhorse sock yarn, and it wears brilliantly. I love it. So that there is sock 1. So I have completed that. I wanted to complete these first before for the hashtag Lizzie and Darcy Cal, before I cast on. I want to cast on a pair of my Dearest Loveliest Elizabeth socks. It's really warm in here today. I closed the windows because I didn't want any flies coming in, and now I'm roasting. So I have sock 1 finished. So sock 2, I have the leg complete on it, and I have done the heel flap and a heel turn, and I'm just on the gusset now. So you see, I'm just there we go. So I'm just working on the gusset of this now. I think there's a fly in here anyway, so I'm now sweltering inside for no reason because there's a fly in here anyway. Go figure. So that is sock 2. I'm going to press on with that this week and hopefully see and get it done. So this is the cake of yarn. It's a beautiful gold yellow. It's gorgeous. And then this is the natural that I'm using. So the 2 of them together. I really like how that's coming out. So that is they're the socks I'm working on at the moment. I am hoping to finish those up. I'm hoping to get a good go at that second sock and get that finished up this week, because I'll just put the sock blocks out of the way. You might remember in my little bobbins bag, I have the yarn that I've been keeping. You may remember my last pair of 2 Darcy with Love socks. I knit them in I knit the main part in this Eden Cottage Yarns. Is that in focus? This is Eden Cottage Yarns. This is Oakworth 4-ply in Meadow Rue. Oh, there we go. It's focused now. That's in Meadow Rue. So it's kind of like a very pale lilac colour. knit the main part of the last pair of 2 Darcy with Love socks in that, and I used this, this is a Tempo 4-ply driftwood, again from Eden Cottage Yarns. I use that for contrast. So for the pair of my Dearest, Loveliest, Elizabeth, I want to knit the main part in this driftwood and use the Meadow Rue for contrast, so that I have another pair. I have another pair of 2 Darcy and Elizabeth socks that are the opposite of each other. That's what I'm hoping. So I didn't cast them on because I'm at the 3 projects. You know, I don't want to cast these on until I get that pair of 2 Darcy with Love socks off the needles. So I didn't want to cast those on just yet. So those are the socks I'm working on. The next thing on my needles is, my Herbarium jumper. Okay, I don't think I have the pattern turned for the picture either. So here we go. There we go. So this is my Herbarium jumper. I hope it's focused. This is my Herbarium jumper that I'm knitting. It's by NCL Knits. And the last day, where was I the last day? Hang on, I'm going to drop the needle if I don't. There we go. So let me see. Where was I the last day? I think I had one shoulder left to go. I had the right shoulder and decreases left to go. So I finished it. This is it here. Finished the right shoulder, worked the decreases, put them all on my very handy. I love these little light bulb pins. They're brilliant for holding a stitch or two. I did that and I joined them up. I joined the shoulders up on both, and I cast on a sleeve. So I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. I've worked 7 of these. See, I've marked them again with those little light bulb pins, just so it's easy to keep track of. So I'm on the sleeve. I'm on the left sleeve. Yay! Look. So it's just round and round. It's just plain stockinette. So it's just round and round and round. It's lovely. This is great TV watching. So it is. And this last week or two, we've been watching films in the evenings because the older children they're already on their school holidays. So we have been watching some films. So this is brilliant. I can just knit. So I have that, and I just have that sleeve finished. One more sleeve to go, and then a neckband. Then I'm done. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to having this off the needles. I can't wait. It'll be lovely. So that's how my Herbarium jumper is going. The yarn I'm using for it is Eden Cottage Yarns. This is Tempo 4-ply. Is that going to focus? There we go. This is the Tempo 4-ply. This is Apricot Tulip. And the Tempo 4-ply yarn is 75% wool, 25% nylon. And I love it. It softens up and it plumps up beautiful, so it does. And with a little bit of nylon on it, it will wear really well. So that is the yarn I'm using for that. So I'm really looking forward to getting this off the needles and being able to wear it. Garments are one thing I really want to concentrate on getting more of. That's why I'm a little reluctant to cast on anything other than the 3 projects, so that I can keep working on the garments, because I have 2 other sweater quantities with the pattern set out that I want to knit on them, and I may have gotten another sweater quantity of yarn, because I want garments, so I do. That's one thing I'm really wanting to concentrate on. On my own personal knitting, I want garments. I want to keep knitting socks and shawls as well, but I want garments as well. So that is what I am working on. Okay. Then the last thing on my needles is my 18 shawl. Now my 18 shawl I am knitting as part of the Knitterarium's Year of You shawl knit along, and you will find that in the Ravelry group. There is a chapter thread and a finished object thread. The current theme we're in is Just Be You, and it runs until June the 30th, and then we'll start a new theme for July and August. So if you are wanting to join in and you think you're a little bit late, we are running another one. It's in July and August, we'll be running that one. So you can hop along and pick out your favourite Knitterarium pattern and be ready to start that. So the shawl I'm knitting at the moment is this. It's the 18 shawl. It is there, the name. I'll put the name up on the screen as well, so that it is it's easy for you to see. So that's the shawl. The yarn I'm using is Strand Designs. This is the chocolate orange colourway from Karina of Strand Design, and this is her larger cake of yarn. There is 600 meters in this, and it's 100% superwash merino. This is, let me see, okay, so this has grown. It's really huge. It's really bunched up on the needles at the moment, so see, look, it's really growing. And all of this, I was here, I was down here the last day, so I've knit all of this. I think I have 3 repeats left to go of the pattern, and then I have to bind up. No, I have 2 more repeats to go, so I'm a repeat ahead of myself that I didn't even realize. I have 2 more repeats to go, and then I have to bind up. So I'm really very nearly there with that. And Karina is also one of our sponsors for the for this theme, the Knitterarium. I'm getting tongue tied now. Karina is also the sponsor for the Just Be You theme. She has sponsored a beautiful skein of yarn, and you will see that in the Ravelry group in the finished objects thread. If you pop along there, you will see I have a picture posted of the yarn. That's one of the prizes, and the other prize is a gorgeous bag from Kira of Emerald Fibres, and this is one of Kira's bags. If you focus, you'll see I have this really cute hedgehog one on mine, because we all know at this stage how much I love hedgehogs. So this is one of Karina's, and it's, do you know, her bags are extremely similar to the beautiful fringe supply ones, only Kira she draws each image out herself, and she stamps them onto the fabric and she makes them up, and they have this beautiful rope pull on them and this fantastic handle. And Karina has sponsored a bag for this theme as well. So that's the other prize. So there is the skein of yarn from Karina from Strand Designs, and there is a bag from Kira, who is Emerald Fibres. And you will be able to see pictures of both of those in the finished object thread for the shawl knit along. And again, that's in our Ravelry group, and the link to that is down below there, so you'll be able to find it quite easy. Excuse me. And don't forget, when you finish your shawls, you can enter them into we're having a grand prize draw. So any of the shawls from any of that are finished from any of the themes this year are eligible for that. But again, all those details are they're in the Ravelry group, and if you're wondering about anything, just give me a message and I'll try and answer it for you. So that's really all that's on my needles at the moment. We will move on to Chitty Chit Chat. At the start of this episode, you'll have seen just a quick 5-minute clip of where we were in Mullameen Forest. We went out, I think it's 2 weeks ago. We didn't go out on last Sunday because it was pouring rain. It was dreadful. It was, but the Sunday before that was dry, so we went out, and I took the camera. So that's what you're seeing there. That forest is about maybe 10 minutes drive from us, and it is the largest planted beech forest in Europe. And we took a trip, just one of the quick short trails around, because our smallest one, she's able to manage that one, so she is. There are longer trails, but she's too young for those yet, so she is. So as I said, we have been watching movies this last 2 weeks. We've watched several. I know we watched The Fellowship of the Ring, and I know we watched the new Jack Reacher movie as well. I'm in two minds about Jack Reacher because I've read the books and I love the books. I love the books, but I don't know. You see, I think the problem with it is that Jack Reacher in the books is over 6 feet tall, and Tom Cruise plays Jack Reacher in the films, who's not over 6 feet tall. I think maybe that's probably the problem I have with it. But it was good. We also watched X-Men Apocalypse. I know that was on and the children wanted to watch it. So we watched that. And then we've been catching up with the usual. We caught up with the end of the season, Supernatural season. We caught up with that, and Doctor Who, different things like that. We did catch up with those. I did bring my stitching along because I did make another little bit of progress on it. Let me see. I finished the blue on the outside of the house, and then I filled in the windows. I just have another window and door, and then it's just snow. So I've white to fill in here, a little bit of white on the window panes, and then I know there's white all across here, and there's going to be a little snowman and a little tree around here where I'm pointing, and then there is little snowflakes to add in on that, as well as the bottom border. So it's moving along, it's getting there. As I said, it is so tiny. The squares are so small in it that I'm not able to work on it for very long periods of time, but I have been busy, so as well, which doesn't help. So I did make a little bit of progress on that, so I did. Trying to think what else did I do this, because it's 2 weeks. I surely must have done something. As I said, we had car trouble. We didn't have car trouble. It wasn't really car trouble. It was more the car had to go in for a service, and he found one or two other things then that just it meant he needed to keep it for longer. Is that considered car trouble? Not really, I suppose, because he had it already. Anyway, it was a pain in the butt. It had to be done. Let me see, what else did we do? I think that's about the extent of what we've done. Very boring, really. Yep. So, I actually think that that's all I have to chat with you about. Yeah, we'll leave it there. I have no podcast question to you today. I didn't work one up, but if you've got a question for me, pop it down below in the comments or in the show notes for this episode, which will be in the Ravelry group. You can pop it in there, or there is an Ask Me Anything thread. So there's lots of places for you to put it if you've got a question for me. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I wish you a happy knit-filled week. And we'll see you all again next week. Happy knitting. Bye.